Business owners, magbabagong taon na naman. Marami na naman tayong kailangan i-report sa BIR and sa gobyerno. Ano yung mga kailangan nating tandaan pagpasok ng bagong taon? Again, meron tayong part 2 na treat for our subscribers. So we invited a professional accountant to explain kung ano-ano ba yung mga kailangan nating tandaan pagdating nitong January. So today, again, we will be talking to Miss Sharon Aytona.
Para sa mga hindi pa nakakakilala kay Sharon, she graduated cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and Accountancy from the University of the Philippines and a Bachelor of Laws Degree in the same university. She is a member of the PICPA, or the Philippine Institute of Certified Accountants, and also a seasoned consultant on the topic of computerized accounting systems.
Yun.
With nearly 20 plus years of experience in tax, accounting, and business consulting, she has handled clients ranging from professionals to groups of companies in a wide array of industries, including, but not limited to, banking, non-bank financial institutions, retail and distribution, logistics, education, health and wellness, and IT. She brings fresh insight to both large institutions and SMEs with her unique combination of entrepreneurial and corporate experience.
Yan. So excited na ako makausap ulit si Miss Sharon. So,
let's get on with the show!
this episode is brought to you by Think Tank Professional Services Inc., a professional services firm that helps businesses grow and flourish with proper financial advice and business practices. Think Tank carries out this vision with a team of professionals with multidisciplinary training and experience in the fields of accounting, finance, taxation, audit, legal, and government compliance. Get in touch with them at www.thinktankaccountants.com. Welcome to Legal Guide Philippines, where we simplify the law to help you make better choices. I'm Attorney Ramon Ramirez, and I'm with my partner,
Attorney Erwin Sagala.
All right, so today, again, we have Miss Sharon to help us with our topic. And what will we be talking about? We will be talking about ano ba yung mga kailangan nating tandaan this coming January, start of the year, ano yung mga kailangan nating i-file and all of that.
Alam mo, Attorney Ramon, napapansin ko, napapadala si Miss Sharon sa channel
Oo
natin.
nga eh, bakit kaya?
You know why?
Oh.
Kasi yung mga pinag-uusapan natin dito, sobrang importante para sa mga negosyante. It's something that we can't gloss over. So, Miss Sharon, we truly appreciate having you here and guiding us and our followers.
Nice. Yan. So, Miss Sha, ano ba ang kailangan nating mga tandaan? Lalo na, I think, very important and very close to my heart, ano yung mga kailangan itandaan in terms of taxes. No? Sa, ano ba kailangan i-file natin sa BIR, Miss Sha? Maybe you can enlighten us.
So magandang araw sa ating lahat. So ngayong araw ang pag-uusapan natin ay tungkol sa withholding taxes. So mag-focus naman tayo ngayon sa mga payers. So responsibility kasi ng ating mga payer ang pagkaltas or pag-withhold ng tax sa kanilang mga binabayaran. So yung perspective natin today, yung mga payer, meaning yung mga employers na nagbabayad ng salary sa kanilang employees, and yung mga payer na nag-engage ng outsourced services like a lawyer, accountant, or mga consultants. So we call the entity that engages and pays all these services a payer for purposes of today's discussion.
So, Misha, let me just recap yung concept ng withholding. No? So, kung maaari, isa akong payer, may negosyo ako, may mga binabayaran ako na mga supplier, or kung sino-sino, even employees, no? May mga binabayaran ako. Ayon sa ating batas, yung tax nung taong binabayaran ko, di ba? Kasi income niya yon, may tinatanggap siya. Binibigay ng batas yung responsibilidad dun sa nagbabayad na kaltasan na, no? Tanggalin na yung portion ng tax para yung payer ang magre-remit sa gobyerno. Tama ba, Ms. Sharon?
Yes, tama yun.
So, yung payer ang
nag-withhold. Correct. So, ang galing ng concept ng withholding tax sa Philippines kasi it ensures na nakakakolekta ang ating government. Kasi sa side pa lang ng payer, bago pa lang ibayad yung mga fees or salaries, nakaltasan na agad ang ating mga income earners.
For me, Ms. Sharon, it's ingenious for two things. Number one, tuloy-tuloy yung cash flow. Tama nga, di ba? Hindi mo kailangan hintayin yung, time na
15.
mag-file ng taxes natin April 15. No, tuloy-tuloy yan na nakakakolekta yung gobyerno. And yung second reason why it's an ingenious program is tingin ko nakakatipid ang gobyerno ng pasweldo. Kasi imbis na kukuha ka ng additional tax collectors, yung mga taxpayers mismo, sila na yung nagko-collect for the government. So, ayun.
The burden is with the payer, and the payer is the one responsible for complying with this concept of withholding tax.
Yes, and I think ang tawag sa payer as also the withholding agent, no?
Correct. Yes.
Agent agent for the government to withhold, kaya sila withholding agent. But for now, let's call them payer. Okay, so I think ang perspective natin ngayon, Ms. Sharon, last time in our last episode, and if you weren't able to watch our last episode, please look for it in our blog. But in our last episode, ang pinag-uusapan natin doon was yung responsibilidad ng payee, no? Yung taong binabayaran. Ngayon, ang perspective natin ngayon ay pag-usapan natin ano yung mga obligasyon ng payer, yung withholding agent. Tama po?
Yes, tama yan.
Alright.
So,
sige, let's proceed.
Ang ating payers, meron silang responsibility to remit to BIR yung mga nakaltas na either portion of salary or income ng kanilang payees. So that is due every month. So ang BIR form na ginagamit natin dyan for withholding on compensation is the BIR form 1601C, and that is due every 15th of the month for January. Okay. Kasi it changes for the month of January, giving more time for these payers to remit. So we'll focus for today's discussion. We'll focus for those that are due this January. So I'll give a run through of that withholding taxes that are due this coming January 2023. So on January 15, the withholding tax on compensation, BIR Form 1601C, is due for filing and payment for non-EFPS taxpayers. But for those who are registered with EFPS, you have January 11 to 15 to file and up to January 20 to pay. So you notice for EFPS registered taxpayers, they have more time to do their payment and filing. Then we have the usual every January 25, our quarterly VAT.
Ma'am, Miss Sharon, before we go to yung quarterly VAT and yung SLSP, to just clarify, baka hindi clear sa mga natin, yung 1601C pertains to compensation. It pertains to yung mga pasweldo sa mga employees natin, no? So again, tayong mga negosyante, we are supposed to withhold part nung yung income tax ng mga employees natin, and we do that through yung 1601C na sinasabi ni Ms. Sharon. Tama po, Ms. Sharon?
Yes, that's right.
Yan. Okay, so 1601C, withholding on compensation. Ano naman pong next natin, Ms. Sharon?
Okay, so our sales taxes, so we have our VAT and our percentage tax. So for January, since it will cover the whole quarter of Q4 2022, the due date for that is January 25. So the quarterly VAT is due on January 25, along with you need to attach your summary list of sales and purchases. So madalas so nakaligtaan. So reminder lang din sa ating mga VAT taxpayers to always attach the SLSP kasi kapag missing yan, merong corresponding penalty. And then those who are non-VAT, so percentage tax naman ang pinafile at binabayaran, also due on January 25.
So this is for yung year prior, no? Tama po, Ms. Sharon?
Quarter prior. So Q4 2022.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then January 31, we have our remittance and payment to BIR of the withholding taxes na expanded. So that includes yung mga payment natin for rentals and mga outsourced services contractors natin. So yung kinaltas natin sa kanila, we remit that to BIR on January 31. So we have an attachment for that also, which is what we call your quarterly alpha list of payees.
Ano pong ibig sabihin ng alpha list na Miss Sharon?
Yes. So it's really just a summary ng mga payees natin, mga binayaran natin. Kasi the 1601 EQ, which is the form that we use for the withholding tax, expanded withholding tax. It's just an amount. It doesn't say kung sino yung mga binayaran. That's why we need to attach the QAP or the quarterly alpha list of pays para ma-match ni BIR. Ang galing nga ni BIR, again, there's matching there to see if the payees also declare the income that they earn and yung kinaltas sa kanila ng payers nila. Ang galing nga ng system ng BIR on that.
May issue ako sa system na yun, pero in essence, ideally maganda siya.
Yeah, ideally maganda siya. Ideally. Yep.
Yeah. In an ideal world, maganda siya.
Yes. Okay. So that's our due dates for January. And then there's also what we call
Meron din tayo ng final, tama po ba, Ms. Sharon?
Yeah, for final taxes, kung meron mga final taxes na na-withhold, that's also due ng January 31.
Yeah.
So that's the regular monthly submissions lang for January, because we also have our annualized taxes. So you'll notice may monthly filing talaga yung mga withholding taxes, but every year, we are required to summarize lahat ng mga binayad natin for the whole year. So for the whole year of 2022, we need to annualize or like summarize all the withholding taxes related to compensation ng employees.
Yes.
And that is what we call 1604 CF, yung ating form for that, BIR form. And that is due on January 31 also. And meron rin siyang attachment na annual alpha list of employees. If you notice, for those who are employed here, di ba you receive yung BIR form 2316?
Yes.
That's actually...
Yan yung di ba? Pine-prepare na usually ng HR yan.
Correct.
And yung 2316 na pine-prepare HR and then ibibigay sa inyo, confidential, kung wari. Hindi naman kung wari, talagang confidential. Hindi, may mga kilala kong HR napapakita yung iba sa ibang empleyado, nagka-cost ng I heard. Ayan, so but it's supposed to be confidential, bibigay sa inyo, pipirmahan ninyo, yeah, and then ibabalik nyo rin sa kanila. Tama ba, Ms. Sharon? Yan yun, yung 2316.
Yes.
Doon makikita nyo lahat ng kinaltas sa inyo na tax for the year. Yan din ang magsuserve as, for employees, may mga mangungutang kayo or something sa bangko, proof of income.
Visa.
Yan,
Mag-apply for visa.
Apply ng visa, lalo na sa US, very strict. Yan yung mga pinapakita natin, 2316. Kung we are just 100% employees na wala tayong sideline, we're not getting income from anything else. Tama po, Ms. Sharon?
Tama yan. So that's what we call substituted filing. Kasi what happens is, instead of the employee as taxpayer who submits the ITR, it becomes the responsibility of the employer. So substituted filing, the employer yung nagpa-file, nag-handle ng taxes ng isang employee. So that's in the form of 2316. So for the annualized na summary of all the expanded payments sa ating mga contractors, rental, ganyan, we have the BIR form 1604E. And then there's an attachment to that also, the annual alpha list of payees, and that is due March 1. So we have more time to prepare for that annualized, expanded withholding tax.
So let me just be clear, no, yung 1604 CF is for, yan yung kumbaga summary for the year for all yung withhold na for compensation and yung mga final withholding taxes. Yung sinabi mo naman na 1604E is lahat naman ng withhold natin for yung expanded or yung creditable withholding tax and yung mga sa rental, or suppliers and whatnot. Tama po?
Yes. And then meron ding form na kailangan ibigay si payer sa kanyang mga withholdan. That is the 2307 naman. So counterpart ng 2316 is the 2307.
Ang daming numbers na lumalabas. Alam mo, Ms. Sharon, parang this leads me to appreciate how you guys help out businesses. Kasi kung normal na negosyante and then alam mo na tumututok na sila sa pagninegosyo mismo, pag-serve ng kliyente, pag-deliver ng produkto, kung pati ito iintindihin, ang bigat talaga ng dating. So ang laki talaga ng epekto if you have a team supporting you, specializing in things like this.
Actually, that's very true. No? Parang tayo in our own practice, no, it's already very difficult in itself to fulfill our duties to our clients, di ba? Yung ano natin, yung day in day out. Kung ito man, kung pati ba naman ito iisipin natin, wala na, no? Wala na tayong oras for our lives.
But wait, this is just Q1.
Oo. January pa lang to and Q1, no? Ang daming ano. But yes, good point, Attorney Erwin. Guys, you really need to think about, for our viewers and our listeners, you really need to think about the service providers who are helping you file these returns and all these things, reports to the government. Kasi pag nagkamali po tayo dito, it can cost you a lot more if hindi nyo nagawa or nagkamali tayo or kung kani-kanino nyo lang pinapagawa. So please, i-vet nyo yung service providers nyo. And one of these service providers is Think Tank, no? So please think about them as well, no? If you'd like their help, their details are there. So Miss Sharon, that's for January. Those are the things that we need to think about, especially pagdating sa BIR for January. Now, one of the things na palagi kaming tinatanong ng clients namin is, what about income tax return? Kasi January na diba? ITR. Kailan ba due itong mga to? Yung income tax, kailan ba binabayaran to? April lang ba talaga to? Quarterly ba siya? Ano yung mga dates to remember, Ms. Sharon?
Yep. So now we proceed to the income tax return kasi coming from the concept of withholding, which is someone handled your taxes for you. So we now proceed dun sa ITR. Now, what if ikaw yung responsible sa taxes mo? Because that happens for individuals who are business owners na sole prop yun, or mga individual practitioners, in practice of profession na by themselves, consultants, freelancers, and also those who are mixed income earners, meaning meron siyang salary from an employer and then may racket pa siya, may other sources of income. So that becomes a mixed income earner. So magkaiba yung due dates natin if you are an individual taxpayer or a corporation. So for an individual na merong income coming from sources other than employment, the due date for the tax filing is, we have an acronym. So MANA or MANA. So
Mana?
Yes.
Parang escape yun hindi pang income tax na. Anyway,
MANA
sige.
sa gobyerno. Yep. So MANA means your Q1 income is due yung income tax filing every May 15. And then your Q2 income is due yung ITR every August 15. And then yung Q3 na income is due every November 15. And then the Q4 or the annual ITR is due April 15. So you'll notice the months, May, August, November, April, MANA. But it's all due on the 15th. So it's easy to remember for individuals.
No, alam ko na ngayon.
Mana.
Mana. Every 15th. Mana. Yan. Alam natin. Okay.
Yes. And the form...
And this is what we call the quarterly income tax. Tama ba?
Quarterly income tax. And using the BIR form 1701.
Okay.
For corporation naman, we use the form BIR form 1702. The acronym pa rin for the due dates, the quarterly ITR is MANA. So it's still May, August, November, April. Pero magbabago na yung dates. Kasi yes, kasi it's really due 60 days after the end of the quarter. We have months na 30 days, ending 31 days. So, nagbabago siya. But easy to remember pa rin naman kasi we have May 30 for the Q1 ITR, August 29 for the Q2 ITR, November 29 for the Q3 ITR, and then the annual is still April 15. So, magkas-pareho yung annual ITR na individual and corporation, which is April 15 due date. Kaya busy tayo pag April 15.
Yan. Malapit na maging busy lahat ng tao, no? Kasi after Christmas, yan na yung tina-target ng lahat. Tama ba, Misha?
Yes, ang daming deadlines pag Q1.
And what are our tax rates, lalo na for mga clients natin or yung mga listeners natin who have corporations? What are the tax rates that they need to think about?
Yes, our regular corporate income tax rate for corporation is at 20%, which is lower if your taxable income is not exceeding 5 million and your total asset is not exceeding 100 million. So excluding the land where the office, plant, and equipment are situated. So lower tax rate if your taxable income and total assets is also lower.
Okay, so it's a lower tax rate. So 20% if your taxable income does not exceed 5 million and yung assets hindi siya aabot ng 100 million. So
Correct.
basically kung hindi ka napakalaking negosyo,
Small time ka pa.
Small time ka pa. Hindi naman small time pero hindi ka pa super big time.
Yes.
Yan. 20% ang anong RCIT, no, our regular corporate
May
income
partida
tax.
na binibigay yung government.
Tama naman. And because before hindi, no? Flat tayo 30% everyone, no? Regardless of kung kumikita ka or hindi. Yan.
You
So
notice this is a lower rate from before.
Yeah, a lot lower. So thank you to our Congress for doing that. And in all other cases, pag big time ka na,
25%.
25% regular corporate income tax.
And kung mapapansin mo, hindi rin ganun kalaki at 25.
Hindi, dati talaga we couldn't compete, no, with other countries sa ASEAN, no. Parang ang taas-taas ng tax rate sa Philippines. People didn't want to invest in the Philippines kasi ang taas ng tax rate. Ayan. Misha, sobrang thank you. I have a final question. I hope umabot pa tayo, no. In terms of palaging nakakabit sa income tax return natin yung yung financial statements, di ba? Kailan ba required ang financial statements? Dapat ba audited or pwede bang unaudited? Pwede bang kung sino-sino na lang gumagawa? Ano yung rules natin diyan sa financial statements?
Yes. So there's what we call audited financial statement, which is prepared and signed by an external auditor. So it's a person other than our internal accountant, and it has to be a license also na CPA, an accountant auditor. So not all CPAs are auditors because there's special license required for this, special accreditation, and it's stringent din. Yung CPD requirement is difficult. So that's why we need these auditors for the preparation of what we call AFS every year. It's due, AFS is required by two agencies. So we have the BIR and the SEC if you are a corporation. With BIR, you're required to file AFS if your gross revenue exceeds 3 million in a year. So you'll know naman na kasi na total na yan dapat na accountant kung na-reach mo yung 3M mark. So you would know if required ka na. Whereas with SEC, lower yung cap. So with SEC naman, at least 600,000 total assets or total liabilities yung basis. Then you need an AFS.
Okay. So I think yung lower, na sa once you go sa 600, definitely kailangan mo na ng FS.
Na-reach mo yan. Oo. Yes.
And kailan po ang deadlines natin for the BIR and yung sa SEC, Ms. Sha?
Yes. So yung BIR due date for the AFS is 30 days from deadline of the ITR. So we know already the ITR is due na April 15, so add 30 days to that. It's just that flexible yan kasi sometimes BIR would extend due to
COVID
stringent
dati,
reason. Yeah, COVID. So, but the fixed date talaga is April 15, so add 30 days to that para due sa BIR AFS. Then with SEC naman by schedule. So we just need to check the SEC website for due dates because it could vary also. Okay,
nice. And in all other cases, if you don't meet that, no need for audited FS.
Unaudited FS.
Unaudited FS is fine.
Yes.
Okay, great. I think that's all the questions that I have. Any questions from you, Attorney Erwin?
Nothing from me.
So again, Ms. Sharon, thank you so much for clarifying itong mga bagay-bagay na to para sa ating mga listeners and for our viewers as well.
Pero I think posibleng may tanong yung mga viewers natin. If they get convinced na, oh my God, parang ang dami pala kailangan asikasuhin, I need some help. Where can they get in touch with you, Ms. Sharon? You and your team.
Yes, so you can reach us through our email, consult@thinktankpros.com, or you can also check our website, www.thinktankaccountants.com.
Ayan.
When they consult you, Miss Sharon, what do they have to bring? Dapat ba may hihingi kang documents or doon na lang ninyo
Yes.
pag-uusapan yun? How would that go kung sakali?
It depends kung registered business na sila. We would usually ask for the BIR certificate of registration because that is where we see yung tax types, which is usually the basis for the discussion. But for new businesses, then it requires consulting, a lot of consulting.
And speaking of registration with the BIR, Ms. Sharon, I think we need to mention na in January, kailangan magbayad ulit sila ng 500 pesos registration fee with the BIR. Tama po ba, Ms. Sha?
Yes, tama yun. And that is due on January 31. So mura lang 500 pesos to renew with BIR.
Mataas yung penalty nun, so bayaran nyo na lang yung 500.
Yes. Compromise fee pa lang, 1,000 agad. So sayang. Sayang
So,
talaga. Yep.
Okay, that's it. Thank you so much, Ms. Sharon. Thank you for niliwanagan mo na naman kami.
Thank you so much. God bless everyone.
For most of you, this video was more than enough, and if it makes your life easier, then of course, you're welcome. But there are some of you who will watch this episode and conclude that they will need additional help.
If that's you, then we invite you to get in touch with Think Tank Professional Services Incorporated, a professional services firm that helps businesses grow and flourish with proper financial advice and business practices. Think Tank carries out this vision with a team of professionals with multidisciplinary training and experience in the fields of accounting, finance, taxation, audit, legal, and government compliance. Get in touch with them at www.thinktankaccountants.com.
Now, one last thing, guys. After all yung festivities of the year-end holidays, it's time to get right back on the horse and make sure that we are compliant with what we need to file. Let's remember those dates that we talked about earlier and talk to our trusted accountant or service provider. So wasn't that simple? Now go make better choices.